Never mind, he's here. Yo, good morning, and welcome to a football stream. Exciting. First football live show of the year, obviously. Week 0. Logan from Calling Our Shot is here, as you can see for yourself. Only 7 games, and I was literally just talking to Logan before we went live. I make the same mistake every year. I get so excited for football, and I just overbet these games that don't have a ton of value because I'm so excited. Probably going to do the same thing this year. I'm going to probably lecture you on not to do it and then go do it myself. We'll go through 7 games. Toast is here too. Let's get him in the stream. I don't know. He's as soon as I sent him the link, he was right in there, so he was quick. All right, there's Toast. Let's run the intro and get it started.
Welcome to the source. The source. Hey, get the source.
All right, so like I said, community parlay finally snapped the streak. That had to be the first win in 3 or 4 weeks, at least like 4 or 5 weeks maybe. I don't know what to expect today. I don't know how many people are going to join us for a week 0 college football stream. There's obviously not a ton of big teams playing today, but let's get started and let's dig into this. First game, Navy at Notre Dame. Well, actually, it's at a neutral site, but so Navy at Notre Dame. Let's run a poll. Navy, Notre Dame, over. Was it at 48? I'll just say over. Under. There we go. Poll is running. Go ahead and cast your votes. See where the community's leaning on that one. For me, the story on this one is pretty obvious if you follow college football. For Notre Dame, at least. Everyone knows the biggest storylines with Notre Dame is Michael Mayer leaving because he was such a huge part of their offense last year. Let's go to that. So, yeah, this dude got all the targets. In case you didn't watch Notre Dame football last year, every time they drop back to pass, I feel like it went to this guy. 31.3% of Notre Dame's target share. That was first in the FBS. Both of these numbers, 8.8 targets per game and 31.3%, both first amongst tight ends in the FBS. He's gone, but obviously the big name they brought in, Sam Hartman, who threw what felt like 1 billion touchdowns at Wake Forest last year. But my concern is really, and I said this on YouTube in the video I uploaded last night, it's not Sam Hartman per se. I think a lot of people are expecting him to just throw on a Notre Dame uniform and throw another 40 touchdowns. It's a little more complicated than that. Notre Dame had one of the lowest pass frequencies in the FBS last year. I think they were 118th in pass frequency. This is a run-first offense last year. The only pass offense they had went through Michael Mayer, and he's not even there. I think there could be some growing pains here, especially against a defense like Navy that did a great job of taking away the run last year. You can see, according to Beta Rank, they had a negative 86.93% effective rush rating on defense. That's second in the FBS. It went Georgia. Actually, I think I have the... maybe I don't. It went Georgia, Navy, Utah, Ohio State, or something like that. Navy was right up there. You can see Notre Dame wasn't able to run the ball in Navy last year. So that's a lot of pressure on Sam Hartman to come in here and be asked to win this football game, or in our case, cover this number with the run game that might not be there. And here's what I want to show you next. 1 second. Let me get to Navy's defense. I have it in here. It's a good one. Oh, this is it right here. So on the top here, that's Navy's front 7. You could see the 3 defensive linemen and the 2 interior linebackers are back. So the same run-stopping unit that shut Notre Dame's run game out last year is still there. Overall, I don't have a ton of faith in Navy's offense. My bet for this game is first half under. Strictly, I'm expecting to see some growing pains. I don't think Sam Hartman's going to go in there and just light the world on fire. So I don't love it, but I have to bet it because it's the first game of the year. We're all going to be watching. I need to have money on it. I'm going first half. Navy, Notre Dame. Let's go first half under 26.5. Actually, I think I got it at 25.5. I think it dropped a point. The first half under 25.5. Did we lose Toast? Oh, no, here he is. Let me get him back in the stream. Logan, you want to go second?
Yeah. No, I really do like your play on the half in this one. And that's kind of what I was thinking too. But I'm going Notre Dame minus 10.5 first half spread. I just think the full game is a little bit too scary. I think they might be pretty sharp on that 20.5 or 21.5, wherever that number does end up. I got this one, I think, like minus 120. It could be trending more towards that 11.5 number, probably. Wouldn't surprise me this morning. But I hear what you're saying about, Notre Dame being run first and everything, but I just think they have a new toy and they're going to try to, want to use off Sam Hartman's, arm in this one. And the reason why I'm picking first half spread instead of like full game spread is because if you look back to 2022, Notre Dame was up 35-13 and at the halftime. And it wasn't until the second half that they kind of left the back door open for Navy to chip their way at this one. And that's what I'm really scared about is the backdoor cover. Obviously, you mentioned Sam Hartman last year, 3,700 yards passing, 38 touchdowns. I think it would be such a disservice if Notre Dame just didn't use off his arm a little bit. I definitely expect them to game plan. It's not like Navy's defense, was good against the pass at all. 95th in passing yards allowed last year. So you mentioned they were good at stopping the run, but they were not great at stopping the pass. And I think Notre Dame's coaching staff hopefully savvy enough to know that's kind of where the strength in Sam Hartman is. And you got a first-year head coach, Brian Newberry, for Navy. Right out of the gate, I just don't really trust him to have a program that's polished and enough to really compete with Notre Dame. So that's why I think the first half's the more safe play in this one and the side I'm going to be betting.
I like it. I agree with what you said. Toast, do you have anything you want to add for this one?
I can't really add a whole bunch. I will say that one thing that was intriguing about Navy when I was looking at this game is they're 14th in returning production and stuff all over, which is a solid thing for them. Notre Dame is usually a slow starter, but it's really hard for me to get anywhere else besides Notre Dame. I mean, besides outside last year's game, the previous 3 games between these two teams were decided by 22 points or more. So it's Notre Dame for me. I actually kind of like Logan's angle on the first half, so I'll probably tail it right there. But I do agree that 20.5, number 21, is probably might be kind of trouble towards the end of the game. Notre Dame is not really the fastest starting team as we know as in previous years. So it's Notre Dame or pass for me, but I think I'm going to tail Logan in that first half.
Cool. And you guys saw, so AJ Bascone is prop Beaver, by the way. That's his actual name. He posted estimate under 93.5 rushing yards. He likes that one. And that's in his, pretty sure that's in his Underdog, which we'll get to later.
Hi, AJ. I'm just trying to make it through the strobe, bro. Glad you're here. Hit that subscribe button.
Yeah, AJ, make sure you subscribe, bro. All right, so let's see what the results of the poll were. I hit end poll, and of course, it's lagging a little bit. Looked like our viewers were leaning Notre Dame, but not by a lot. Come on now, poll. Give me some results. Oh, here we go. 42% of our viewers betting the Irish, 30% betting Navy. So we're kind of split here. 18% under, 9% over. 18% under is a lot. This, in my opinion, this is a kind of a tough game to bet. I'm excited to watch it, but I'm not overly confident.
Navy seems to be a little popular right now. That's another reason why I kind of like Notre Dame.
Yeah. In fact, if I was seeing everyone on Twitter taking Notre Dame minus the 20.5, I probably would have some money on Navy plus 20 plus the points, but feels like the opposite. I feel like everyone's taking Navy. All right, let's run a poll on this one. UTEP, Jacksonville State. Their first game is a member of the FBS. They're an FCS school to me still. They need to come up and win a game as a member of the FBS before I refer to them as an FBS school. And I'm on UTEP here. No changes from last night. Looks like we're laying minus 1.5 or 2 now, as opposed to last night it was -1. I like Gavin Hardison. He's been with UTEP for years now. He kind of took a bit of a step backwards last year. I think I have his stats here, actually. Here it is. So these are his numbers from last year. Not great, but he had a great 2021, and they like him a lot there. Also, the new OC, I think his name is Scotty O'Hara, I think is his name. He's been with UTEP for years. He was the wide receivers coach. He was the quarterback coach. So now he takes over as OC. They've been together for years, him and Hardison. So I don't think there's any growing pains there. In fact, I think the offense is going to be all right. Osvaldo Bito, Pirates pitching stats. Andy, if you're watching, you messed up, bro. You messed up. We're going to talk on Monday about this. And more points about the UTEP offense. Okay, so they lost some weapons. There's a new tight end there. They lost their back. But look at this. They get Hardison back, who they like at quarterback. 4 of their 5 offensive linemen back. I like the UTEP offense, man, and I know it was terrible last year. Here are the numbers. I mean, 69th in effective rush, 95th in effective pass. These numbers aren't really selling my point. I just think we see a step forward from the offense. And Jacksonville State, I don't know. I'm curious to see if what Logan used. I was having trouble finding advanced metrics for them because of their FCS schedule. I really didn't know what to go by. They like this. They got their quarterback back, Zion Webb. He certainly can run the ball. The passing numbers aren't that impressive, especially against an FBS schedule. Now, my main question about Jacksonville State is, can they continue to run this kind of offense with success? 45 rush attempts per game. They're missing not one running back, but both their running backs in this game. One graduated and the other one's hurt, I believe. So they're missing both backs, and now they're playing in the FBS. So that can they come out, run the ball on 65% of their snaps, and have success in the FBS? I'm going to say no. I am taking UTEP, who went like 1-5 on the road last year. I'm taking them to win their road opener, I know. But I'm on the Miners.
Who's going second, Sauce?
Oh, whoever, whatever. Toast, you want to go?
I'm on UTEP as well. So if you guys don't know anything about me, I love these little. I don't do a lot of college football, but the schools that I pay attention to are schools like UTEP, stuff like that. I don't know why. I just have a thing
Toast
for it.
loves the Mountain West. Like, loves the Mountain West.
I just look, this UTEP. I do think, as much as we talked about the offense, I think the UTEP defense, who was 42nd in yards allowed last year, I think is not being talked about enough. Tyree Knight's their leading tackler. He's coming back. Elijah Johnson's coming back as well. I know they lost Cal, whatever his name, Watershuttle or whatever it was, who was like one of their better backers. But I think that our UTEP defense being slept on a little bit. We did see this Jacksonville State team play an FBS opponent last year, which was waxed. Tulsa, and they got absolutely throttled. So again, I'm not trying to say that UTEP's going to go in and throttle them, especially like Sauce mentioned their record on the road last year, but I don't think this is the same type of road team that they saw last year. So it's no question for me, it's UTEP.
This comment just came in. UTEP 24-1 playing on the East Coast. Yeah, I saw that, but
damn it.
Those games, I'm assuming all 25 of them were against FBS schools. This is
Correct.
an FCS school.
This is
an FCS school.
I'm going with that.
Logan?
You guys got some disrespect on Jacksonville State for sure, but I think the play in this one's the over 53.5. That's what I'm going to be taking. This game, I'm reading track meet all over it. It's two defenses that I don't really trust, and I think it's two offenses that can score on both sides, as you mentioned, Kyle. With UTEP returning 4 offensive linemen, that's big. Having that continuity there at quarterback with Hardison, I definitely think he should be able to score some points on Jacksonville State's defense. As you mentioned, when they played big-time programs, they did get whacked. So I don't think they're going to provide much resistance for UTEP. But the fact that this game is a pick'em, I think the books are giving some respect to Jacksonville State, and I can see why. Because Zion Webb, he's got that dual threat. You know, he 647 yards last year, 13 rushing touchdowns, 10 passing touchdowns. In 2022, Jacksonville State put up 40-plus points in 6 games. So that can't be necessarily discounted. I think they should still be able to, go up and down the field on UTEP. And I am disrespecting UTEP's defense a little bit because they were 72nd in scoring defense, 96th in yards per play allowed. So they did allow those explosive chunk plays. And I kind of think that's how Jacksonville State's going to move the ball up and down the field. This one's got track meet written all over. And I think we're kind of seeing that with the total. I mean, 53.5 is not a small total at all. But there will be points on both sides for sure.
Yeah, and the total and UTEP's 4 of their last 5 road games, the totals went way over. So
I agree with I think Zion Webb's going to find his way into the end zone a couple times. I could see Jacksonville State scoring points. I just, from what I'm reading about Gavin Hardison, he's got a really strong arm, and I don't think they see NFL arms in the FCS very often. I think they're going to throw the ball all over Jacksonville State. Actually, you should glance at Hardison's over passing yards.
I guess to give Jacksonville State a little bit more credit too, UTEP was favored 5 times last season, and they covered the spread in just 2 of those. So I don't know how big the spreads were, but just a little bit more credit to Jacksonville State. Just a little bit of respect for Logan.
Yeah, well, he's on the over. He doesn't have the balls to take Jacksonville State. He's taking the over. 66% of our viewers on UTEP, and as expected, from what I'm seeing on Twitter in our group chat, everyone I'm talking to is on UTEP, which is terrifying. But it's not enough to scare me off. 18% of our viewers bet in Jacksonville State, 8% over, 5% under.
The pie charts helped me a little bit, though.
Yeah. Poll for the next game: UMass, New Mexico State. Damn. New Mexico State over, under. All right. Oh, I should do, it's UMass +7, New Mexico State -7. I'm going to include the point spreads in the polls from now on. I forgot to. So use the baseball. All right, so UMass at New Mexico State. I said last night the line was at 6.5, and I said if I wake up and Saturday morning I could get UTEP, UMass at +7, I'm going to take it, and I'm a man of my word. So I'm taking UMass +7. Not absolutely in love with it, but I mean, I don't know how you could be absolutely in love with a bet in week 0 college football, especially a UMass New Mexico State game. But I'm taking the 7. Look, all right. Let me get to, I want to start with the returning production. Let's find that one. All right. So right here, significant advantage. This is according to ESPN's projected returning production ratings. UMass 15th overall in returning production, 23rd on offense, 26th on defense. Look at New Mexico State's defense, 103rd, and I have a graphic showing it exactly too. These graphics are a little out of order. Here we go. So this is New Mexico's defense here. Notice all the sticky notes. Those are new faces. The entire front six is gone. They run a 3-3-5 nickel, 3 linebackers, 3 starting defensive linemen. Gone. 2 of their D-backs. Look, UMass's offense sucked last year. I'm not going to sit here and try to sell the offense to you, but you know what? They bring a ton of their guys back, and they got that new quarterback from Georgia Tech in there who they like. He's an athlete. He's dual threat. I think he's going to score points on this New Mexico State defense, which was good last year. New Mexico State had a solid defense last year, but they just so many new faces. New UMass, brand new season with new energy. I like New Mexico State to win by a field goal.
Go ahead, Logan.
Yeah, I'm with you. I'm on UMass plus the points as well. That's kind of where I'm at. Now, it does scare me a little bit that people are kind of looking at UMass as the sharp side a little bit because they kind of see how the lines moved and they know where the public is in this one. So I don't really care. I'm not reading too much into it. I mean, laying a touchdown with New Mexico State out of the gate is nasty anyway. And as you mentioned, for UMass, Tyson Pumachan, I believe is how you pronounce that name. He's the transfer from Clemson, Georgia Tech. That the offense last year for UMass was just terrible. Like they were bad. This to me is going to be like a more revamped team. I mean, it's hard to get any worse than they were last year. They were like just bottom feeder in pretty much any metric you looked at. I just don't think New Mexico State, is really the side you want to be on. I think look at their first 4 games last year, lost by 11, 38, 7, and 59 points. I mean, they're just not a good team out of the gate. And it just feels like this could be one of those games where people are just kind of looking at last year's record and just kind of getting a little bit lazy in this one. I think UMass is definitely the side to be on in this one.
You couldn't have phrased that better. I myself am a little worried that UMass +7 is looking like the sharp play of the week. That was concerning me as well, but not enough to scare me off. I'm taking and especially that you can get it at the full 7 at -110 too. You don't even have to lay juice. So yeah, I'm on the Minutemen. Toast, are we sweeping?
Absolutely not. You guys are out of your minds.
Mountain West. I forgot Mountain West.
You guys never heard of Diego Pava? This kid is going to light these boys up. Yeah, they weren't great at the beginning of the year, but New Mexico State in their final 3 games, let me see, 13 total touchdowns. I think he's going to be running all over these guys today. UMass just uttered 13 points last year. I just don't think that. I think that the books have this number set for a reason. I don't know what you guys are seeing with UMass, but I'm just not there with them. I could be way off like this, but I think that New Mexico State could run it up on these guys.
Possibly. I can see New Mexico State scoring points. It's not that I think UMass defense is going to put out a performance. I do like Favia, but with New Mexico State with those 8 new starters, that's what I'm seeing with the UMass with that production back and a new quarterback that they like who's an athlete. That's my angle.
Cushing kid that they lost to is really good, which is going to be hard for that line. So I know I butcher these guys' names. I'm in baseball mode still. I got to get better with that. Yeah.
And just so everyone knows, right after this, me and Toast, I don't think Logan, you have to go, right? You said we're going to come back and do baseball right after this. So, all right, let's see where the poll's at. Wow, pretty split even on this one. We got, looks like 48 Craig Wood says New Mexico State shouldn't be laying 7 to anyone. 47% of our viewers bet in New Mexico State, 39% bet in UMass, 6% under, 5% over. Let's move on to game number 4, shall we? Game number 4. Ohio at San Diego State. This is a cool game, man. I don't think people realize how good of a game. Both of these teams have hopes of winning their conference championship, realistic hopes this year. Started off playing each other the beginning of the season. It's Mountain West, so you know Toast is on stupid-ass Aztecs.
Look at the pie chart, bro. Steven,
I know.
The decision has been made for me.
I know. Hold on, let me see where it's at right now before I type it on the screen.
I'm only playing the money line, though. I don't care if I'm laying a little bit of juice with it. I'm not laying points. I'm just taking the money line.
So I am taking the under at 49.5, and this is a Prop Beaver special. Prop Beaver was preaching all week because he did the notes for this game, and he was like, under, preached it all week. Basically, the main talking points here, I'll make it quick, is the Ohio defense. Now, let's find that graphic because that's a good one. Both of these teams had dramatic turnarounds last season. Ohio, the Bobcats offense was good all year. They had the MAC Player of the Year, Curtis Rourke at quarterback. They had the Freshman of the Year at running back, and they had an all-conference receiver. So the Ohio offense, no questions with that. But the Ohio defense, where is it? Hold on, it's in here somewhere. It's a good one. No, now we're into baseball stats. I can't find it. But anyway, the Ohio defense through 5 games, they were like 2-3. The numbers look bad, and then they just started. The defense just showed up. And yeah, they lost a lot of pieces, so they also brought a few back. I like the Ohio defense. San Diego State's offense is not really a unit that scares me in any way. So yeah, I'm just going to take the under. I want to take Ohio. I wish I could, but it dropped down to 2.5. The whole world's on them. Just doesn't feel right. So I'm just going to play it safe, take the under here.
I don't have much on it, so Logan, go ahead.
Yeah, you know what? Seeing the world in Ohio is a little bit scary, but that's the side Austin and I are kind of in agreement on. I'm taking Ohio plus. We got them at +3, so
you could still get.
I definitely think. Yes, it is a little bit scary. People are kind of falling in love with Ohio. I'm a Curtis Rourke fan, and returning for Ohio, I think is going to be big. 69% completion before he tore his ACL, 25 touchdowns, 4 interceptions. He's a really solid quarterback option. And I think he will be the difference maker in this game. You look at the Aztecs, good defense last year, but they lost most of their defensive line. I think if they struggle to stop the run, and we could get some big plays out of Curtis Rourke. This kind of, to me, it's either Ohio or pass. I don't really know how I can get there with the San Diego State option, honestly.
Yeah, that sums up how I feel too. I had Ohio plus 2.5 because yesterday it was 2.5. I had Ohio plus 2.5 and the under written down. And this morning I made a last minute decision to just go with the under. But I'm with you in Austin. That's the way I'd be leaning as well. By far the best. I
was just gonna say everything points to Ohio. Like
right.
They were good. The only thing that you can say is that like York wouldn't be 100 or Rourke wouldn't be 100% because, but like Logan pointed to, San Diego State's only returning 36% of their defense from last year. So it's not like that. I mean, yeah, I'm fading essentially the public and taking my Aztecs as part of my heart, but like I can't really sit up here and say that the reason. But yeah, it's everything that you would think would look at leans towards Ohio.
I'm putting SDSU or pass under you.
I bet a money line.
Oh, did you? Okay.
Oh yeah.
On the money line, what do you even get that at? -135, something like that?
I got it 130.
All right, there you go. San Diego State money line under your face, so you can screenshot it and show everyone how you lost the bet on a live broadcast. Let's see what the poll says. 51, actually not as skewed as I thought, because from what it sounded,
you got some sharps in here.
Yeah, well, from what it sounded like, just gathering from Twitter and social media, it felt like everyone's on Ohio, but according to our poll, 51% of our viewers taking Ohio, 34% taking San Diego State, 6% over, 6% under.
Thank you for the support, Stephen Harrison.
What is he's on the Aztecs too?
Yeah, he's sharp.
Hawaii at Vandy, and I love my bet that I'm on. I'm a little worried because when a bet just feels too easy. That's how I feel about my over here. I feel like this total should be 62, 63. Why are they giving it to us at 55.5? Maybe I'm the biggest sucker on the planet for this. I bet this pretty heavy. I think I put a full unit on this. I don't know how. Someone explain to me who's making stops in this game because I'm just not seeing it. All right, let's go through some graphics here. Vanderbilt returning production. Who cares? Okay, so Hawaii. If I had to pick a side, I would be on Hawaii, by the way. If you remember, they started the season so terribly last year. 0-4, 1-3 against the spread. Average differential, minus 37.5 points. They were losing by an average of 37.5 points through 4 games. The last 8, 7-1 against the spread, minus 6.8. Hawaii turned things around. Timmy Chang has that program moving in the right direction. Hold on. I want to get to the
that offense was slow for Hawaii last year, guys, because they implemented a new offense. That was half the issue.
No, that's not what I want. That's not what I want.
Okay.
So here's a good one right here. Vanderbilt's offense took a huge step forward last year. Look at their offense in 2021 in comparison to 2022. Points per game, yards per game. Big step forward. They like A.J. Swan. Look at his numbers. And then look at his numbers at home. Even though I heard that their stadium's under construction and they're playing somewhere weird here. So this isn't a true home game. Man, where's my offensive stuff, man? My graphics are unorganized for this one, but I expect Hawaii to come out. Hawaii was 17th or 18th in pass frequency in the FBS last year. Maybe that's because they're down on the scoreboard a lot, but also I think Timmy Chang wants to throw the ball, and I think he's going to be able to against Vanderbilt, who had a terrible pass defense. And on the other side, Vanderbilt, look, their offense isn't great, but they were decent at running the ball. They were 57th in effective rush. I mean, just run the ball in Hawaii. They're not going to stop you, I promise. The Hawaii's defense is terrible. At least it was last year. So I'm just not seeing any stops. I think this total. I think you can add 10 to this, and I would still take the over. I swear to God.
I'm tailing Sauce in the over. The only couple things I can add is Hawaii started slow last year because they were installing this like they call it a run and shoot offense. They're bringing back a whole bunch of guys on the offensive line. It says 110 starts on the offensive line. And then that AJ Swan kid that Sauce talked about, he only threw 2 interceptions last year, but he had 13 turnover worthy plays. So as we would say in baseball, we got some regression possibly coming.
Expected fit for a quarterback.
Yeah. But yeah, I agree with Sauce. I think we see some points. I think we see some points here today. So I took the over as well.
Logan, we sweeping with the over?
No, I don't really have a play on the total in this one. I think the move is, you could call it SEC bias. I'm taking Vanderbilt minus 17.5. I'll lay all the points with Vandy in this one. I just think Vanderbilt is the better team. And when you see a team like Vanderbilt that's like a notorious punching bag kind of for some of the bigger SEC teams, when you see them favored like this, I think people might, get a little comfortable with Hawaii plus the points, say that's way too many points. I'm pretty sure Vanderbilt covered easily last year when they played
63-10.
Yeah. So it's one of those things that I don't think the odds makers will be that far off on this game. And I kind of like the way Vanderbilt, played those teams that they weren't supposed to hang around with last year. I mean, my Gators, they only lost by a touchdown to Florida. I think they only lost, Florida. Or they beat Florida. They beat Florida last year. They beat Kentucky. I mean, this was a team that hung around with South Carolina. They got waxed by Tennessee, but I think this Vanderbilt program is definitely moving in the right direction in this one. And I think, they will assert their dominance on Hawaii. I just think this is one of those, week 0 games where Hawaii, the tackling is probably going to be bad on both sides. So again, if I had to pick a side if I had to pick a total, I probably would lean over. But I just think Vanderbilt kind of runs and hides from them. So I think there's going to be a lot of points on that side, especially.
I was just about to say the one thing that does concern me is both teams can run the ball pretty well or should be able to run the ball pretty well. So that's the only thing that concerned me about an over.
I agree with what you're saying. If I was to pick a side, I would actually be on the other one. I would take the points with Hawaii. I'm not doing it, but I agree with what you're saying, though, with what we saw from Vanderbilt last year. They took a huge step forward. I cashed a few Vanderbilt bets. I was pumped with what we saw from Vanderbilt, and I think they are too. But I think you can also say the same thing. That was Timmy Chang's first year here in Hawaii. They finished the year 7-1 against the spread, only losing by 6.8 points. I know a negative 6.8. We're celebrating a minus 6.8 point differential, but they're like night and day in his first year. I think that program is also on the rise. So that's why I would probably take the points with Hawaii. But, hey, there's a lot of action on Hawaii. It's a kind of a public dog. Our viewers, though, are on Vandy. 54% of our viewers bet in Vandy. 26% Hawaii, 12% over, 5% under. Game number 6. Oh, man, like this, we get a USC home game opener.
On the Pac-12 network. No one can watch it.
I'll be watching it.
So will I.
USC. Oh, actually, I mean, it'll probably be on one of my smaller. Oh, you know what? I'll be at my brother's tonight, so I don't even know if I'll be watching this one. I'm on the UTEP game on. All right. San Jose State at USC. I'm not going to spend a ton of time talking on this one. Last night on YouTube, I said if I was going to place a bet, it would be USC first half minus 18.5. I think it was. I didn't actually bet it. It didn't make my final ticket. I'm still there. I don't see San Diego State making any stops. I think USC's defense is going to take a step forward with they brought in a couple guys in the transfer portal. They brought in that D tackle from Georgia. He was a 300-pound freshman that got playing time, saw snaps on the Georgia defense last year. He'll be starting for USC. I think USC's defense takes a step forward. Clearly, that was their problem last year. But obviously, when you're dealing with a point spread of 30 points, there's always the risk of starters getting pulled in a blowout. And so I don't even want to deal with that. Maybe I'll throw this bet down before the game's starting, but this is what I would do. USC first half minus 18.5 because nothing shows that San Jose State should be able to stop Caleb Williams in this offense.
Not to mention the fact with San Jose State, their best receiver last year was Isaac Cooks. He went off to the NFL, and then Justin Lockhart was the only other guy that had over 300 receiving yards, and he hasn't even been practicing this week because he has a bad ankle. So it'd be USC first half for me. It was 16 earlier this week. It's already up to 18.5 now. So obviously the odds makers are reacting to that money. So that's how I would play it as well if I had to play it.
Sweep?
No, I have a really weird bet in this one. So, buckle in. I'm taking San Jose State team total over 2.5 touchdowns. This is a really weird bet. I've never made one of these before, but it's on my ticket. It's plus 150 odds, or it was plus 150 when I got it. Now, trying to find an edge or an angle in this game kind of was tough for me because you got that sky-high total. You've got a sky-high spread in this one. I just think this is one of those games. I mean, I like you guys' angle for that first half bet. But if USC does run away and hide with this one, tell me that you couldn't see San Jose State putting up 3 touchdowns. I mean, that's just not out of the realm of possibility, especially if USC's defense isn't playing their A game, isn't really trying. I mean, if they look up at the scoreboard and they're down 28, 35 points, they're not going to be kicking field goals. That's my whole point in this one. You got Chevin Cordero back. He's a guy that's been in college football forever. This is his 6th season. I mean, last year, over 3,000 yards, 23 touchdowns. The San Jose State offense was 30th in passing yards last year. There's not going to be a huge drop off for them. And yes, USC did get some guys, in the offseason, but last year that defense wasn't all that impressive. Why? Because they didn't have to be. Their motto was just let's outscore you. And I kind of can see them doing that with an opponent like San Jose State. I mean, USC 94th in scoring defense, 108th in passing yards allowed, 124th in yards per play. This one just sets up to be like a value play on San Jose State. I don't want to take their spread at all because then you're relying on them to have to make defensive stops. But I think if they're trailing big, they're not going to be kicking field goals. 3 touchdowns is definitely doable for this offense.
Yeah, to that point, so while he was talking, I pulled up USC's schedule from last year. We saw Arizona State come into the Coliseum, scored 25 points. We saw Cal come into this Coliseum and scored 35 points. We saw UCLA's offense was dope. That's a bad example. Arizona, well, they had a good offense too with Delora, but they scored 37 points. So putting up points on USC was not an issue last year. And at plus 150, that is interesting. At plus 150.
And with that bet, you don't have to worry about them kicking extra points. They just have to score a touchdown.
Yeah, just get in.
If you know what I mean? That's a lot. That's a better bet than having to worry about a college kicker kicking in the field goal 3 times.
Yeah, I do like the angle. If they're down 3 or more scores, they're not punting. They're going.
Not to mention it's plus 150. It's not like he's laying.
No, I know. That's cool. I like that. So obviously,
what book is that on?
It was on DraftKings.
Yeah,
okay, cool. All right, cool. I'm gonna have to look at that from now on.
I think Barstool has them too. The 2 touchdown totals. All right. So according to our viewers, as expected, everyone's on USC. I mean, 57% of our viewers bet in the Trojans. 18% over. So over came in second place. 16% San Jose State. 6% under. Game 7. Oh, That's Prop Beaver's underdog. That's for after. FIU at Louisiana Tech. Let's run a poll. FIU, Louisiana Tech. So, no question, I like Louisiana Tech in this one. I was bouncing back and forth on how to bet that. But I ended up just straight up laying the points, the 11.5. It's not one of my biggest bets of the day, but it is on the ticket. Louisiana Tech minus 11.5. There's just a bunch of splits that favor Louisiana Tech. Let's go through some graphics here. They're kind of unorganized, but there's some good stuff. Next, I want to get to the... All right, so Sonny Cumbie did not get off to a great start in his debut with the team. But if you look at... Let's get to their stuff at home. That's what I like. All right, first of all, Louisiana Tech at home last 3 seasons. 2 seasons. No, 3 seasons. 9-6 against the spread. 9-6 straight up. Compared to their records on the road, they've been much better at home for 3 straight years now. And look... This is really out of order, and I apologize for the disorganization, but I like FIU. I like Mike McIntyre. He turned around 2 programs back-to-back, and I think he'll get there, but at Colorado, it was his 4th year when they went 10-4 and won the Pac-12. And then was it San Jose State? I think it was San Jose State. It was his 3rd year where he went 11-2. So his 2nd year with FIU in week 0, that's just too soon to see a turnaround, considering this team was terrible last year. Look at FIU's offensive ranks. This is according to Beta Rank last season. 125th in drive efficiency, 126th in this explosive drives. They're bottom 10 in every category, in every one, this offense. I don't know what there is to like about FIU. And then I was talking about the splits. Look at FIU on the road last year in comparison to Louisiana Tech at home. Tech just plays much better at home, and FIU plays worse on the road. I like Louisiana Tech and Sonny Cumbie this year. I think with UTSA and who the hell else left that conference? I think they have a realistic shot of winning, or at least playing in the championship game of Conference USA, because the couple of the top teams left. So I think there's high hopes there, and in a home opener, I think they win comfortably.
Yeah, I'm on the same page, except I just played the first half minus 6.5. I figured that if they're going to come out, they're going to play well. Only thing I can really add is that FIU defense from a season ago was bad, but they were especially bad on 3rd down. So I just think that that's going to be really hard for FIU to overcome here. So I don't really want to lay 11.5. So I've decided to go in the first half to see if that counteracts some of that money.
Logan?
Yeah, I don't have an angle on this one. I want to bet it, but I gotta pass. I can't add anything. I don't know anything about either of these teams, honestly.
Yeah, if this game was at a neutral site, it would be a pass for me too. It's the home aspect of it I really like for Louisiana Tech, because they've been so good at home for 3 straight years now. Our viewers are on Louisiana Tech. It looks like 57%.
And the FIU Panthers have only covered in 6 road games as an underdog since 2018, and 2 of them were last year.
There you go. So 57% of our viewers bet in the Bulldogs, 32% bet in the FIU Panthers, 8% over, 1% under. All right, so it's time for Prop Beaver's Underdog. Yo, he spent a lot of time on this too. Prop Beaver's like getting really into college football props. So here it is, college from Prop Beaver. Braden Shager, higher than 221 passing yards in that Hawaii Vandy game. Caleb Williams, lower than 313.5 passing yards. Audric Estime, the one I said before, lower than 88 rushing yards. And actually, I think you can get that at 93.5. He made that yesterday before he left work. It's at 93.5 now, so he likes lower. If you don't have Underdog, it's available in any state highlighted in orange here. So just go on Underdog Fantasy website, download the app, use the promo code BET, B-E-T, and you'll get a $100 deposit bonus match. So you deposit $100, they'll give you a free $100 to play with. All right, community parlay.
Hey, come on, it's the community parlay. What's the matter for you?
I really don't know how we're going to do this, so I think what I'm going to do is we'll vote for our 3 favorite games against the spread and do a parlay with that. That's what I'm thinking. Baseball is a lot easier because it's set in stone. This is going to be a wild card with the point spreads, because I mean we can't have minus 8,000 legs on the parlay. What's the point? All right, so we need spread. Navy, Notre Dame. All right, so let's go. They voted Notre Dame, so let's say Notre Dame minus 20.5. UTEP they liked. UTEP minus 2. UMass or New Mexico State. What did they vote for? I'm scrolling up. I really want to know. Notre Dame, UTEP, New Mexico State they voted for. All right, New Mexico State minus 7, and they definitely voted for Ohio. We know that. All right. First leg of the community parlay. Maybe it might only be 2 or 3 legs because, like I said, there's only 7 games. So, and it looks like UTEP is jumping out to an early lead, or Notre Dame. Yeah, the Miners are going to be on there. I can tell.
Are we going to lay the 2 or play the money line?
No, let's lay the 2. Let's make it. We'll do a point spread parlay for this first one, and then next Saturday when we have so many games to go through, I'm gonna have to think up a way because there's no way we're gonna sit there and run like 30 polls.
I was just about to say that. I was like, I can't wait to see what you have cooked up.
Yeah, I'll think of something creative. It'll be fun. I'm good at stuff like that. All right, so it looks like UTEP's gonna be the first leg. All right, community parlay. UTEP minus 2 is the first leg. Let's get this up here. And
I just want to say really quickly, shout out to the Seattle Mariners, and I'm done.
Yeah, for casting last night's. All right, so Notre Dame and Ohio were second and third, so that's going to come back into play. First, let's get through the rest of the games, which are, did they like Hawaii or Vanderbilt? I got to pay attention.
I'm going to start writing it down.
I know, especially when we get more games.
I got it.
Vanderbilt, definitely. Vandy minus 17.5. Then the next is definitely USC. So USC minus 30.5. Wow. And then FIU was definitely Louisiana Tech minus 11.5. All right. So now we'll do this one. And then the third leg will be the second place finishers. So vote for the second leg. All right, looks like, wow, USC minus 30.5. You guys really want that on there, huh? A bunch of risky bastards. This one's a tight race, actually. I'm going to give it another 7 seconds. 6, 3, 2, it's deadlocked. 1, end poll. And the winner is Vandy and Tech tied. All right, tiebreaker.
God damn it.
I hate the tie. 5-second tiebreaker. Vandy, Louisiana Tech. Go. I'm counting 5 seconds when it starts running.
That's the only one I drink, chat.
All right, go. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And the result, Louisiana Tech makes it. So UTEP minus 2. Louisiana Tech minus 11.5. Final
595.
Well,
Oh wait, there's only 2 of them, or there's 3?
We're gonna do one more poll with the second place finishers.
Oh, I thought USC was already in there. My bad.
No, USC didn't win, so we're gonna go Notre Dame. Notre Dame minus 20.5. That was second place, and Vanderbilt minus 17.5. There we go. It's between these two to finish out the community parlay, first college football one of the year. Come on now. Here we go. Notre Dame or Vandy? What's making it? Looks like Vanderbilt has the lead early. I'm giving it another 6 or 7 seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and poll. Looks like Vandy. It's Vanderbilt. So there we have it. First college football community parlay of the year, and those odds are
611
plus 611. So we have UTEP minus 2, Louisiana Tech minus 11.5, Vanderbilt minus 17.5. We hit last night's MLB community parlay cashed.
Damn
Maybe
right.
this one will cash too. Let's make it 2 in a row. Logan, thanks for joining. Everyone, me and Toast will be right back. I just have to set the stream up.
10 minutes.
Yeah, well, I was going to say less. You want to do you know what? Want to make it just noon? It's 11:45. We'll be back at noon.
Yeah, make it noon. I need to check bullpens really quick. I got to switch my
I'm
brain
not prepared
over.
either. We're just going to wing it.
I'm just going to wing it. Fuck it.
I'm
just kidding. I've been doing this every day.
Yeah, he's ready. I'm not. We'll be back at noon for baseball. Remember to bet responsibly today. It's week 0, only 7 games. Hit any of us up. Make sure you check out Logan on Twitter. That's his Twitter name right there. Him and Austin are posting stuff on YouTube every single day, too. They have good content. Check them out. All right, everyone, bet responsibly. Have a good day. And me and Tulsa see you in 14 minutes. Later.